Hi guys, welcome to Buchardt Audio. My name is Buchardt, and right now we are actually ready to ship out the A500 signatures. I would just like to reach out and say thank you so much for all the support on this speaker, and it is crazy, but we are already nearly sold out on these speakers, it just blew my mind because it is not a cheap speaker at all by any means. But it is really a speaker that does something truly unique. But we do get a lot of questions with how do we use them, and as you probably have already seen, we offer to bundle them with the Primera SC15, which is a high-end network streamer that also does WiSA, which was a perfect fit for our speakers. So I will go over shortly how to quickly set up the speakers when you get them. This also applies for if you buy the A500, the regular one, or the A700, and you want to bundle them with the Primera. So when you get the SC15, you of course unbox it, and you put in batteries on the remote. You mount the two antennas on the back of the SC15. One of the first things you will notice when you power it on is that the remote doesn't work. Well, that's because this is a remote that has multiple functions, that it works with more than just the SC15. So you just have to press here the small CD and SC emblem, and you can see the LED up here. It goes from the top one to the bottom one. You want to be on the bottom one. And now we can control it. So that's the first thing. Next thing is that you put both of the speakers into pairing mode, which is done by pressing the pairing button, holding in for 3 seconds and release until you can see that the wireless LED starts flashing. Now you go back to the SC15 and you press the menu button on the remote, and now you get into the menu. We have inputs, audio, general, streaming and network. You go down to general settings, press select, and then you jump down to WiSA settings. Okay. WiSA module on, yes. WiSA network on, yes. Add WiSA speakers. So press add, and now it's looking for a WiSA speaker, or how many WiSA speakers you have in pairing mode. So we'll just wait for this search to be over and see. Well, it found 0 right speakers and 2 left speakers. Well, that's not what we want, but okay. We just press OK, and then we'll go one more down to associated WiSA speakers. To press OK, and you'll see one of them is left and the other one is left. This is the code of each of the speakers. So we just take one of them and assign the output to right. So now we have one right and one left, and that's actually it. Now you are ready to then connect the SC15 to your home network and start using it. So for the cardioid tuning, it is a pretty complex subject, and if you want to know a lot of the details of what cardioid actually is and means, there is a ton of information online that you can go seek yourself. I will try to explain it as simply as I can, so that hopefully everybody out there has an understanding of what the purpose of this actually is. So the A500 is a specific design because it has 2 sealed compartments inside, one for the back woofer and one for the front woofer. And this means that we can actually use the back woofer for different purposes than only adding more bass to the speaker. So when you install the cardioid tuning, it is specifically designed to be a speaker where it works very close to a back wall. If you're forced to use your speakers very close to the wall, or if you're in a smaller room, because when you are installing the tuning, the back woofers is actually, instead of adding bass, it is sucking out bass. Because when you're talking about lower frequencies, which is the bass, then a speaker doesn't really care of how it's oriented. Lower frequencies play equal amount forward and to the sides and to the backwards as they do. So when you get higher up in frequencies, a speaker gets more and more directive. So it actually narrows the dispersion pattern of the speaker. But at the lower frequencies, it goes all the way around, and that causes a lot of trouble with rooms, especially if you are forced to having the speakers close to the back wall. So this tuning, it actually uses the back woofer for what you can call noise cancelling of those frequencies, so that it removes a lot of the negative influence that the room has when you're pulling speakers close to a wall. So what this does is that you don't, when you're having the speakers close to the wall, it sounds like it's standing out free, like it doesn't have a wall behind it, and it's a big difference, especially when you are talking about male voices and you're talking about kick drums and stuff like that. It gets more clear. And it is pretty significant how effective it actually is. Of course, it doesn't have the same headroom, because when you're installing the cardio tuning, you're relying on the front woofer to do all the bass of the speaker. And we don't do cardio tuning for the regular A500s because they don't have nearly as much headroom as the A500 Signatures does with these new purifier woofers. So it's a specific tuning that could work for you if you have a smaller room, or maybe just don't need to play that loud for your speakers. So I think that it will be very useful for a lot of people, because we do see a lot of customers that are forced to place the speakers very close to the wall for different reasons. So that is it on the cardio tuning. I hope that the explanation makes sense. If it doesn't, you're of course welcome to email us anytime you want, and we can try to explain it a little bit better. But thank you guys for watching.